Yes, welcome to our live show. Thank you so much for joining us. Where should I start? Right, it's the Champions League. It's the Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me talk about. I mean, according to myself, according to me, one of the best games that I actually watched this season. Right, I think this season is just what, five, six, 7 games, and I want to say this, right. Barcelona, PSG, and Bayern Munich. Those are the teams that I've seen so far that has got the highest level of footballing brains and all those kind of things, right? The game that I watched yesterday, right, between PSG and Barca, it was a classic. It was one of those games where tactically every team, these two teams were that good, right? And you start to wonder um, if Maresca, some of these coaches that we have, right, especially the Chelsea coach, the Manchester United coach, and whatever, do they take time with their players to say, let's watch these games, right? Or they just want to watch when they are playing against them? Because I just don't understand this, because you can see the masterclass, the art. That's when people start to talk about saying football is an art. You can see how good Vitinha is, how good Pedri is, how good um uh what is it these Yamal is, they're so good to such an extent that you start to feel like, you know what, these people were like born and start playing football at the age of 1 day, right? Because that's how good those players is. You know, it was for me. I enjoyed it, right? I don't know you if you enjoyed it, but having said that, remember Barcelona have got they can press, right? They came with a high intensity, they came with high pressing, and you could see what they were trying to do, right? What they were trying to do, Barcelona, is to make sure that PSG make errors, right? They were doing the same way that Chelsea did in the Club World Cup, where they will press and press and press. And what then happens is that you could see the first goal from Ferran Torres, right? Was that um, because of the press, right? Vitinha made a mistake, and you highly, highly don't see this guy. This guy always doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't miss mistakes. Whatever he passes sideways, backwards, in front, and whatever. You could say he's that good. He doesn't make. But yesterday he made a mistake, and that mistake led to a goal. Right. So you could see that that was the idea from Barcelona, that let's keep on pressing, let's keep on pressing, let's press high. In their defense, we actually say the minute they get the ball, their defense moves to the what? To the center line, so that they wanted to keep PSG in their half, so that they can press and press and press, and they were rewarded. They were actually rewarded. But you know how good PSG is, right? They came back, and this is also what I don't understand. Chelsea and these other clubs and whatever, they always talk about young players, and whatever. But look at PSG, right? PSG, they've got young, very young players. The player that actually scored the first goal for PSG is like what, 19, 18, is a teenager. Like he's called this Mayulu, or something like that. He's very good. He's a very good. He's playing number 9. Why? Dembele was not in to yesterday. I think I don't know what's happening with him. And look at that. While we're talking at the absentees, Marquinhos were there. Their inspirational captain was not there. But look at how they played, right? They played very, very well. Um, so it's all about the oil, right? You don't have to cry when the other players are not there, right? Because when you make a substitution, right? As long as you buy a player, whether he's going to start the first 11 or is a squad player, when you make a substitution, that player must be as good as the player that has been substituted. Simple as that, right? What does that mean? It means that if that other player is injured, for instance, right, the other player will play exactly the same. Exactly the same. That's how it works. So I was very, very impressed with PSG. I was impressed with Bayern. It's unfortunate that in the 90th minute, for me, that game deserved a draw, right? Um, it was very unfortunate that PSG scored in the 90th minute, right? I know that Ramos guy came in as a substitute and he scored, but it all depends, guys. People they're saying that no, Ramos was offside, and all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, it's the referees and VAR has counted it in and say it's a score. But that's how it is. So I just wanted to say, look. That was one of the best games that I've seen this season. The teams were very tactical. They're very good. The combination between Yamal, Pedri, Rashford. Look how good Rashford is when he plays in the Barcelona team. What is the problem when he is at Manchester United, right? You could see he does. Let's stop here and say something, right? When you see this guy is playing on the left wing, right? Tell me one winger who is playing as good as Rashford at the moment in UK. He marks, he runs, he crosses, you know, he does everything. So I just don't understand what happens when he is at Manchester United. And the problem with this is that I'm not understanding, is it because of the coaches? Is it because of what do you call it? The management, the owners, or what? I don't know. But I don't think that it's all about coaches, because if you look at it now, that these players, your Rashfords and whatever, they about 4 or 5 coaches that they came in and they're just trying to ship them out. Why? Because when a coach comes, he gets information internally. That no, what this player is like this player like this, and the newspapers and all those kind of things. Rashford is doing very well, exceptionally well at Barcelona, and I think you see actually his goal contributions, he scores, he assists, and all those kind of things. I just wish him well, Rashford, right? Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about in the PSG game, right? I saw Manchester City also drew with Monaco 2-2. Haaland is up there. He's one of the top strikers. I think at the moment it's Haaland and what is it, the Bayern Munich striker Kane. I think those are the two highly rated or very good strikers at the moment in the world. They just score, right? Then Arsenal won 2-0 against Olympiacos. Yeah, that was also one of those games, but I think that game was also, people expected that, right? It's people expected Arsenal to beat Olympiacos, but I also think that Manchester City was expected to beat Monaco as well. But look, that's the beautiful game, right? You win some, you lose some, or you draw, right? The last story that I wanted to bring today, it's about this guy, John Banks, right? You know, in Africa or all over the world, most of these kind of stories, they always come to African players, right? It's because probably of our upbringings and we don't necessarily have financial management background and all those kind of things, investments and whatever, right? I don't know how bad it is, but according to this story, John Barnes is actually bankrupt. That's what they're saying. It seems as if it's not normally when people are saying you're bankrupt, right? It means that you have got more liabilities than your assets. You are not able to pay your debts and all those kind of things. So that's how the story is saying that John Barnes has been bankrupt. Is no longer allowed to obviously to get things probably on credit or to borrow money or whatever. Like what I said, this is exactly what normally happens in probably in African players. I'm an African. I understand the African culture, right? Most of the people, most of our players, whether it's in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, I think all over, you will see that a player goes to Europe, plays very well, plays good, and stays there for 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is, right? That player comes back to Africa, right? 3 years, 4 years down the line, he's asking for help. He doesn't have car, he doesn't have a house. He's you can see that he's struggling in life and all those kind of things. Probably is even asking for help for his kids to go to school and all those kind of things. Most of these guys, they spend their money on women, on cars, on alcohol and all those kind of things, right? And they forget that they've got a family to look after. They still have 20 years to live and all those kind of things, so they don't do investments. So I was just surprised when I saw this, right? And one of the things that I also thought was that John Barnes is one of those former players that does a lot of TV work, right? And I remember he used to come to, I think, 2010, if I'm not mistaken. He was in South Africa for the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And some of these World Cup and Champions Leagues and whatever, he was getting like contracts to come to South Africa to do TV work for the finals or for the whatever, So I'm not understanding when they say he's bankrupt or he doesn't have money, but it's, you know what, it's news, and there is a reason why people are writing that. We'll hear more what's happening in his life. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your Thursday. Your Thursday. I'll come back again with more news. Thank you. Bye bye.